subscribe to them. Any policy changes in the state law, state regulations, and this is what we find.
I understood. Understood.
Okay. All of these policies that are listed here were sent home to the board on the 18th. So if you look at the 18th packet, you'll see all these policies. Any questions on them, or if you feel that there's something that we should be discussing as a policy chairperson should set up a meeting?
And it is only the first reading tonight, so we'll have one more opportunity.
Can someone expand on why we are doing number 3? On page 9, number 3.
That we're just approving the fee schedule that Georgian Court College has in case we need any of these evaluations, perhaps maybe for a lawsuit, and we need any evaluations such as social eval, classroom observation, that we would have them approved and be able to use the services.
Would any work being done have to be approved by the board before it's done?
Would the work have to be approved by the board? It would have, depending on the child, it would be on the board agenda saying that a child, a certain student and the student number needs the service, yes.
Who is doing the work right now?
It would depend on the student.
Are you saying who's currently providing these
Yes.
services?
Is somebody providing or nobody's providing?
Our child's study team does most of the work, but in a lot of instances, in some particular lawsuits, opposing attorneys sometimes ask for an outside evaluator.
Don't we also currently use the Middlesex County Ed Services Commission for some of this as well?
We use several different outside evaluators.
And the reason we need to have more?
I cannot hear you.
What's the reason we need to add even more
Other options. We just for other options. There are several options.
I think to have other options is great idea. My question is why we're not getting it out and see proposals, expertise from different people who provide this kind of services.
Well, we have MOEST on here, we have Middlesex, and we have several different ones on this agenda. Number 7, on page 11, approve Middlesex Regional Educational Service Commission. On number 8, approve educational evaluation and testing services. There are several different ones.
My question is number on page 11, item 7, that's for a specific amount for 20 evaluations as opposed to item 3, the Georgia court seems to be very open-ended approval.
We're just approving the fee schedule. Anything that was done would have to be on the board agenda for a particular student.
Well, my question is professional services, why not to bid it out and see who comes in with the best price and best service and best experience? Why is it different than anything else we do in the district where we bid it out?
It's only on there for other options for evaluation services, Mr. Blackman. The same reason why we have Middlesex for MOEST and everything else. I don't know why you're only taking the Georgian court one and not the other one.
I'm talking about everything. I'm talking Middlesex and educational testing, bilingual. Why not?
Are you saying that we should take all of them off? We should take Georgian
No,
court,
I think we should
Middlesex,
go through
all of them?
No, I think we should do what the state of New Jersey recommends, and that is competitive bidding, competitive process, where you have various institutions who provide the services throughout New Jersey, submit to an RFP, and then the district gets the best price and the best service for everyone. I understand it's on a needed basis, but my question is, why is it different than anything else? I mean, who negotiated this prices of $400? And I'm not saying it's low. I understand there's a lot of costs involved in making evaluations, but we do everything by competitive pricing, so why not this? That's all I'm saying. My opinion, we should bid it out like everything else and get the best price. Because we're talking about a significant amount of money here.
Just to use the correct terminology, it's technically not a bid. It's not a bid item because it's a professional. Exactly. It's an RFP.
It's RFP, yeah, I was referring to RFP, yeah. RFP. I mean, we're talking about prices of $100, $200, $800, $1,000. And we spend significant amount of money on evaluations.
Would we happen to have another translator? Our translator has to leave to go somewhere. Would anyone would be willing to translate? I apologize. Here we go. We have Mrs. Malgeri.
I would like to make a motion to table it and issue an RFP as we do with every other services. I think we should be consistent. And I would like to mention that last time that we were told that the state actually asked to do this and told Lakewood that we have to go through RFPs. I don't see why this is an exception.
Through the chair, I just want to thank the translator for giving her time.
Thank you.
So there's a motion on the floor to table that would need a second and then right into a roll call.
I'll second it.
Table, which items?
Table all the professional services in the superintendent's items and issue an RFP.
So just so we're clear, you're talking about Georgian Court, Middlesex County, and help me out this Winters, is there another one on there? And are any of these time sensitive? Because Middlesex County is it's identified as 20 evaluations for, I guess, 20 particular students. Does that have to be done tonight?
Monmouth Ocean, ESC, and Middlesex County are state-approved cooperatives. They do not require bidding or
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay, if you say they don't require, that's fine, but everything else,
So the only other one is Georgian Court.
well, then that's what it is.
So is that the one you're moving to table?
I believe the superintendent agrees that we will not approve Georgian Court tonight, and we'll do it on.
So it'll just be administratively withdrawn from the agenda? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, move on. I think we're on the...
Items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is for testimony.
I think it was the whole Georgian Court resolution, Mr. Gamble.
Yes.
All of number 3. On
All
page
number
9.
3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
It goes from 9 to page 10.
Okay. Item number 3, we have a motion to table or...
No.
It has been withdrawn. It has been withdrawn.
I just want to say that Georgian Court may be a state-approved clinic and agency, which I will look into after the meeting.
Okay, but we agree that to issue an RFP, is that a consensus? As we do with everything else. I don't think we should make an exception in Georgian Court and say Georgian Court doesn't need an RFP, that's all. I'll make a motion to issue an RFP for those services. I'm making a motion to issue an RFP.
Let's finish. We're in the middle of the original motion. So
It's not because it was withdrawn.
But I'm saying we're still, you made a motion to amend, we pulled that out, but we're still in the middle of the roll call on the original motion, discussion I should say, on items on page,
Okay, then.
all the way to the end of the agenda. All right, so let's do that first, Mr. Lockett, and then we'll come back and make a motion.
Good idea.
Are we up to roll call? Any further discussion on the agenda items?
Number 19, I heard that the play was beautiful, and congratulations to everybody that took a part in it. I just wanted to request that in the future, that the expenses should be approved before the event, if possible. Number 19, on page 130.
there wasn't a legal meeting that was canceled this also in June.
That's right.
Okay, so
It would have been approved on April 20th.
before, if the meeting wasn't canceled, it would have been for like official starting.
Right.
Yes, I know, thank you.
Thanks, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Any further discussion?
One more question. The extended school years, page 35, the extended school year, those that are working 6 weeks are getting 15% of their salary, those that are working 2 weeks will get 5%. I was just wondering why that is that way. Page 35.
That's what they get paid contractually.
Mike needs it.
For the collective bargaining.
Okay. Nothing further than that.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Larkin?
Does it include the additions to the agenda?
No, we're going to go to the additions next.
Yes, and we took out the,
Item 3.
got it, yes.
Weinberger?
Yes.
Tiff?
Yes, with the exception of page 35, letter F, number 3.
Mr. Chip, Mr. Friedman asked, was that an abstention or a no on that?
It's a abstain.
Abstention.
Mr. Schwartz?
Yes.
Ms. Munn?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman? Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
A motion on the addendum. We have a motion on the addendum.
Motion.
Schwartz? Second?
Second.
Gonzalez? Discussion?
Is that for the additions?
The additions, right.
And
I'm sorry, there's a change on the addendum. Speaking to the monitors, it was inadvertently put in. Item U, we did strike out corridor motion detector.
What page is that?
I'm on page 1 of the additions, item U, strike out, and corridor motion detector.
So it's just fire alarm.
That's correct.
I will amend my motion to reflect those changes.
Thank you. Gonzalez? Motion, amend your second. Number 7. Tom?
What is it, 4 years, 1 year, anything else?
That's correct. Second, 1 year, we can't go any more than 1 year. We have intent to go for 5 years, but it's 1 year at a time. It's only a letter of intent, so until we see the contract.
Mr. Gamboa, Mr. Weinberg had a question about the fire alarm. Item we just amended.
You just meant the does that change the price?
Sorry,
Does that change the price if we're taking out the quarter?
the price was higher than it was 39, it was inadvertently put in there.
Okay, was it?
That's correct. The price was actually 39.
We took out the quarter.
Thank you.
are we in a discussion on the additions?
Yes.
Yes.
The item 35, can you elaborate what that is?
On which number?
35.
That's on page 6.
People signed up to speak, and we're still going over the agenda. That should have been in the first public session. We didn't
school class at the White House. This application to the state, to the county.
Yeah.
To the county.
Application for what?
Application to use the space at the White House temporarily for the school year.
Which White House?
White House was by
Washington.
the building, the house.
Oh.
Mr. Gamboa? Mr. Gamboa, can we like see to what we're doing now? Because people are leaving, kids are getting antsy, and we still didn't do the people that signed up that wanted to speak.
Well, it's up to the board, they're asking questions.
All right, no, I know. So I'm asking if we could just stop and go to public session.
Let's finish the motion, is my suggestion, and then we'll go to the public participation.
Okay.
All right, continue with the discussion, that's fine, no problem. Let's finish with the discussion, we're in the middle of a motion, so let's finish the motion and go to the public. Because we're in the middle of basically voting.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't there an agenda we used before the meeting to go over the agenda and ask any kind of questions that people may ask? Like I said, people are leaving. It's 9 o'clock. We didn't go over the should be. I would like to portion.
I agree with Mr. Smith, I would like to hear the public opinion.
Okay, we'll finish this.
I would like to hold the vote until I hear the public discussion, if that's okay.
I'm fine with that.
Are there a lot more public board member comments on these items before we go
I have
on?
one more comment.
If there's only a couple more comments, we might as well just finish up the vote. So can we, let's just let's table this, this motion on all these items right now. Let's open it up to the public and we'll come back to the vote. Is that the pleasure of the board?
Yes. All right. Opening up the meeting up to the public now. Who is first on the list?
Pastor Wilson.
Pastor Wilson.
I don't have much to say. I'm just as uncertain as everybody else in the audience is about the whole issue of the budget. We really don't know where we stand tonight. So I am very uncertain about it. I hope that we can get together and somehow figure out how we can plant our feet on solid ground with this budget. So I don't have anything else to say, but hopefully we can get together soon and see how we can have some discussion.
Well, you're talking about specific parts of the book? What are you looking for?
Well, the uncertainty of not knowing whether those issues are going to be resolved so that the money that we're waiting for, we don't know whether we're going to get those monies or not.
Yes, I fully agree with you. I mean, that's what we wait. I think we communicated, we had a meeting, and very communicated strongly that the answer needs to be given ASAP. And I think there's no expectation for it to drag into June or anything. I think it's going to be decided, and we're waiting for an answer. And I think Dr. Rush made a good point, which I made many times, that for many kids it will be catastrophic not having a bus. There's no, many families don't have transportation. There's no way to get to school. There's no way to get to school for many kids.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Latte?
Good evening, Bill Holiday, 30 Schoolhouse Lane. The board worked hard tonight. You could see it. Your attention span was right there. You're asking good questions. You're working on behalf of the school district to do the right thing. Now you got about 15 days before this budget is final. And this is the time for you to all pull together, extract every concession you can to make this busing issue a reality. And when you can't do any more, then you're going to have to turn to the parents. And okay, if some of them would be exempt from paying a subscription, so be it. But you get but you get revenue from the rest. But this board has got to come together with that plan on how to fund that busing. It's important to every parent. It's important to every child. It's important that every member of the school board and the professionals. You've got to make this work. And that means the battle has just begun. But you folks have to figure out how to get it done. have every confidence in the world that you're going to do that. You're going to do it well. You're going to make this whole district proud of you. Thanks for the good work. Tracy Tipp, God bless you. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Morales. Mr. Morales. Mr. Morales. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alejandra Morales. I'm living in Lakewood. Tonight I'm very disappointed because I see all the time just talk. I'm very concerned about this year and what happened to the last year. Please think about all children. Today, so many parents came here. They know the big point, people not coming, is because people don't speak English. They know, everybody knows. Today, Mrs. Gonzalez asking for Mrs. Medina. Mrs. Gonzalez, you let you know, Mrs. Medina, she came here to translate. Please. You and me is the same. Everybody's here because everybody wants works together. No money? Okay, let's go work. Or speak clear exactly what you want to do. Because speak for code, speak for us, but nothing is very clear. Mr. Tipp, thank you so much. Mrs. Gonzalez, 100% I know you understand, both sides. Yes. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
He's already translated. Mr. Morales, we have a translator.
Just I want to let you know something to the parents over here because I make it very hard work. You know, for people coming tonight.
You're really supposed to come
Padres de
and stand
familia.
through the chair.
Ustedes saben el trabajo inmenso que hemos hecho esta noche para nosotros poder venir. Por favor, ustedes han podido ver y es obvio lo que aquí se está mirando. Vamos a continuar. Que el próximo meeting seamos más por nuestros hijos. Gracias. Buenas noches. Yes. I told the parents. I told the fathers it's very important. Next time, come over more. Because tonight, I don't need to make so very challenging or see what the person over here. I'm very sorry that I speak very clear my English, but I try. Okay? Thank you.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but it's Jose Aguirre. Jose. Mr. Rush, Fred Rush. I'm sorry, what was it, Dr. Rush? I'm like, Dr. Rush. I'm sorry.
Good evening again, Mike Press, 1502 Malibu Drive, Lakewood. We, the community, had planned to come to a meeting last Monday. We had several people lined up to come to the meeting to participate. We learned late that the meeting was canceled. I am saying to the board, unless there are dire circumstances and you plan a meeting, please try to stick to that. I will need to ask why the meeting was canceled. But we met with a community of people at the church 2 weeks ago. We explained the budget situation. We explained what was happening with the overcrowdedness. We talked about the attorney fees. I don't mean your fee. I mean the attorney for special education lawsuits to the tune of $131,000. So people came prepared to find out what's happening with our monies because our kids are suffering. Before I go any further, I want those young men and ladies, Press, Marlon, Thomas, Emmanuel, excellent students, they're doing well. I was extremely impressed by the ROTC, the junior ROTC young people, happen to be all Latino. That's great because we're 85%, 90% Latino, so I think that was good. So applaud those young people and the staff who work with them for the job they've done. The questions I have still concerned about the special education costs. We're talking about our monies and where we are, but when we have to spend up to date, a couple of weeks ago, $131,000 for lawsuits in special education, we're not doing something right. And I say we because I'm a taxpayer. Okay, so we and you, elected officials, need to look into that. We talked about the overcrowdedness at the middle school. I understand there's a plan in works for that, which I think is great. I hope it works out. But I think we need to alert the community and the people, let them know what the plan is for the adjustments. That has to do with one of the schools or something. Okay, please do that. The biggest concern is early education for our first and second graders. I understand that class size next year may increase to 33 students per class. We need to look at a way to deal with that. As I said before, 3 or 4 months ago, you cannot, I don't care how many excellent teachers you have in the classroom. We do have some good teachers in Lakewood. But good teachers, no matter how many you're talking about, a teacher and 2 aides cannot educate 33 young people in the class. Because the whole is there. And then we ask, why are we in the trouble we're in? Why is it that 6 of our schools are under needs improvement? Because if we start out in the first, second grade, if kids don't learn by the time they're in first, second, and third grade, if they don't learn to read, then they can't read to learn to advance 4th, 5th, 6th grades and up. So we need to make sure that our primary, our preschool kids are taken care of. The money's got to go there. I understand we have to educate all of our kids, but our schools are failing. I just heard some things that you tabled. I heard some professional development that you tabled. Think about what you're tabling. People need to be professionally developed. So before tabling Georgian court or those kinds of things that are happening, or taking them off the budget or whatever you did.
It was not professional development.
It wasn't professional development?
No.
Then I apologize. Okay, I thought I'm listening wrong, I'm getting a little old, so I don't hear as well as I used to.
There were evaluations.
These were evaluations?
Well, the child study team evaluates, so this was kind of like social outsourcing.
Okay, but okay, now that's another issue. Under IDEA, in special education, if kids aren't evaluated in a timely manner, then that's more money that you may have to pay for lawsuits. Okay, so think about that. When special education kids don't get the due process, they will run to an attorney. And I don't have to mention the attorney that they will run to. And they run to that person, then you're going to get a bill for $20,000. That's why we pay $131,000 already. And monies have to be paid, so we need to take a look at that. As I've said the last time, you have people in the community who want to work with you. We do not want to work against you, but you got to work with the superintendent, you got to work with the community, get us involved so we can help you. We elected you, but you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. And I'll close with this. We have good kids in Lakewood. You know, people sometimes say, I don't come to Lakewood, but we have good kids in Lakewood, but they have to be educated. You know, we know what's happening around the country with African-American boys. The same thing will happen to Latino boys in 5 to 10 years if we don't do something about it, if we don't educate them. That's what's going on in Baltimore. Kids aren't educated. So I'll leave with that. But we need to do a better job, and we need to work together, get some ad hoc committees, get enough community people to work with you to work out some of these issues. Thank you. Good evening.
Here we go. Leonard Nunez. Victoria Aponte. Nora Flores. Fred Rush.
Good evening.
Quiet, please.
Can you hear me, Natalie? I know what you mean. Listen, it's no secret the job that you have is hard and tough. And you make tough decisions. But just remember, when you guys make these decisions, we're the ones that are affected. I've said it once, I've said it twice. And oftentimes when I speak, people think that maybe I have a bias towards one group versus another, or that I have some preconceived notions about certain groups. But when it comes to children, there are no preconceived notions. It doesn't matter if they're in my community, your community, or anywhere. However, the jobs that the Board of Education has is primarily for the public schools. Those other things that come in Title I and all those things, the superintendent, that's her job. She will make sure that that happens. But I am concerned about, like, what I've heard from everybody, especially when it comes to whether or not we get the tier system that we read about in the last couple of days. If that does not happen, then I need to know where we're going from here, because, I mean, our kids are, you know, we have to be there for our kids, and we're going to be there. And you were elected to be there. So, from the state monitor, I would like to know, Mike, if that does not happen on May 13th, what will happen? What are the projections for 15 and 16?
At that point, the only authority I have, I can't produce extra money. The only authority I have would be to, depending on what the board does with the budget in the second question, is to override them and approve it.
Well, we know that we're not going to get any help from the state, because right now, if you look at the funding for pensions and state workers, the money was properly funded last year, it's not being properly funded this year. So that tells me that we have nowhere to go. So we have to work within the constraints that Tom pointed out. And if we don't, You know, there's going to be chaos in the town. And Lord knows there's enough of it going on right now. We need it more. And I echo what Dr. Rush said. The danger that we all have is the education or miseducation of our kids. Because if it doesn't happen then, you think the price is high now? You haven't seen what the prices could be in the future. I think someone says it costs like, you know, what we spend, $10,000 to $12,000 for a kid, for a student. Imagine that kid that didn't learn or didn't have that opportunity. 10 years from now, $60,000 or $70,000 to house them in an institution. So I just submit to you that you have hard jobs to do, and to make sure, and that's why we come, to make sure. Listen, I don't have a chick-dog child in the school system. Haven't had that for a long time. But I am a product of this community, and I will always be here because it's the right thing to do. Hopefully, the reasons that you ran for Board of Education is to do the right thing, just like we try to do. And most of the speakers that you've heard, not one of them has a kid here, except Alejandro. Alejandro is probably the only one. He's probably the only youngest one that can have one. But, and no, you know, my brother's almost 70 years old, or something like that. But in any case, I think you guys understand, because we come and we preach, we say the same thing all the time. We say the same thing all the time, and it must be pretty good, because I didn't get the 3-minute call, 4-minute call, 6-minute call.
I haven't been there a while, I think it's like 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, and good day.
Have a good day.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so we're closing the public portion of this meeting, and we're going back to the motion that we had before on the table, which I forgot what was it.
Motion in the middle discussion.
Question?
Items on the addendum items, and
The additions, we're in the middle of discussion.
you made a motion, Mr. Gonzalez second.
All right, so we are in a discussion on additions. I have a question. Item 40, the letter of intent. Is that a commitment? What are the obligations under the letter of intent? No, I got it, but my question, no, I got that. My question is that a hard commitment? So what does this represent legally?
This is our recommendation. This is we had negotiations. We sat down with them. They made an offer. We're making a counter offer. We have a negotiation with them. So,
And if they accept our offer, are we bound by that offer?
They countersigned the LOI, are we bound by that?
no, we're not.
Am I correct that once we finalize the terms, we would put it in the form of an actual rental contract agreement? Yeah.
Before we
I think my personal opinion, as before, that before Lakewood District enters into any agreement with any entity, for transparency purposes, it should be done through the public bidding and the process that the state of New Jersey recommends. This is just my opinion. We heard in the closed session some unflattering after the closed session, some unflattering things that are being already said about the community because of this potential agreement. Because if it's not transparent, then people could say whatever they want to make up stories. And that's what's happening now, and I'm extremely concerned about it. So I think for the sake of everyone, that is the way we should be doing it, is have a transparent process where we bid this out and let people come up with their offers. I'm done.
Tom, how was this location identified?
Oh, actually, the way it happened is that we heard that we closed the school, so we went over to take a look at it, see if we could fit our needs. We liked it. We walked, St. Margaret's over. He looked at it, he liked it, there was a nice building. We sat down and talked to him about it, we had it appraised. We waited for the appraisal to come in, it'll be coming tomorrow. And we looked at other locations. Looked at other locations, and this seems to be the best location.
What were the efforts done to find the alternate location, or just have an open process? I'm sorry. What else did we do to try to find, to make this an open process and potentially find a better deal or an ultimate deal?
People, leave quietly, please.
That's all we did.
Hey, Tom, do we go through the same process when we rent other schools? Is there a negotiation? What exactly is the process for renting other schools besides this? Because we do rent a lot of space, a lot of buildings.
We can't hear you.
The board, after negotiations, after Mike and Dave look at it, and they recommend it to the board, then the board has to have the attorney draft a contract, and they have to vote on it. And that's really what happened.
There's no open process?
Actually, the administration open process.
Well, yeah, I'm
The
sorry.
administration recommended it, we wanted it, and then I went to the, Tom and I went to the monitors, we really liked the building, and we thought it was the perfect place to expand the preschool program, to expand the needed room in the district. So I actually went to monitors, I actually begged the monitors to please go look at the building. And that is exactly how it worked out. And we all agree that it's the perfect place for a building.
Okay, thank you.
Right, say we agreed on this and everything's fine, when would it be ready for September?
It will be ready for July 1st.
Of this year?
July 1st, 2015.
Hey, Tom, my question is, the same concern if this place wasn't a church? That means, would it be the same concern, was a board, if this wasn't a Catholic school being leased out, being rented?
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Would it be an issue if it wasn't? Like I said, we went out many spaces before, and we've been on the board, we went out plenty of spaces. I've never ever heard any type of questions before when they rented out other spaces in the buildings. It wouldn't have any way of that.
In the past, it was through bidding. Our board offices was an open bidding process, everything was bidding, from what I remember.
This is available space.
Every time we rented the buildings, it was through the bidding process.
The name is going to be changed. Any religious artifacts will be taken down. There will be nothing religious left there. There will be nothing religious in this building whatsoever.
I don't think anybody said anything about it. I mean, that's not the question, and nobody said anything. We were told, I don't think that has anything to do, it has to do with the fact that our people already saying that,
I haven't heard anything, quite honestly, Mr. Blackman. Everyone that's talking said it was
Ada Gonzalez heard this thing, maybe she could repeat what people are saying already.
Yes, I have a 6-year-old autistic child in kindergarten at Holy Family. She's been there since last September. And lately, every time I go to pick her up, it's the same teacher or this crossing guard or somebody. The school's definitely closing in June. Definitely, that's a given. Okay, and so now what I'm hearing is the juice board is out, didn't they? The juice board is out. And I said, no, where are you getting this from? Well, they're running the whole town. I keep walking with my daughter. I mean, she's got to go there, but she's only got, what, a month to go, 2 more months to go, and then sending her somewhere else. But I mean, people are always going to say something. To me, you can't say it's a hard, you know, as long as your hands are clean and you know the truth, move on.
All I wanted was to be there, the open process, and I appreciate the superintendent's explanation how it went about.
Gentleman Chair, it's also worth to mention there are other spaces that the district leases for various programs, specifically the STARS program, which is leased, the lease space in one of the schools. The process was done the same way as it's being introduced today. And it was not
There was a bidding process for all the, from what I understand. And this happened before I got on the board.
No, Mr. Zlatan, I was on the board, you were on the board at the same time as I was. If you want to go around.
STARS program was around much more, went into effect in that building before I got on the board.
Yes,
Mr. Schwartz. So when I got on the board, that building was listed already.
Mr. Zlatan, the contract is a 2-year contract. I was personally involved in renegotiating the contracts for another 2 years. I had a conversation with Robert Canary, and all sides met, and we just, we've reached an agreement for continuing leasing that space. It was done the same way as any other thing. You want to call them up, I'll be more than happy to speak to them, or you speak to them, and you can verify that.
All my personal opinion is asking for open process, that's all. Because people are already saying that the Jews closed the school, that's what the ADA is saying. And as we heard from superintendent, none of the board members were involved in the process. I mean, I understand how people make such allegations, but that's what people are making. And that sometimes happens when the process is not open.
Okay, let's move on with the agenda.
Any other questions?
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Larkin?
Yes, except number 40. Yes, except number 40.
And number 40, you voting no or abstaining?
No.
Mr. Weinberger?
Yes.
Mr. Tiff?
Yes.
Mr. Schwartz?
Yes.
Mr. Munn? Yes. Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Are we voting on page 4 or are we voting on the
The addendum, the whole addendum. Page
Yes.
127. Do you want to address your...
Yes, I want to make a motion to issue an RFP for whatever was drawn administratively. Yes, the services provided by Georgia Court in the agenda to be an RFP issued, which would include experience and all the qualifications so the board could make the best decision as recommended by the state of New Jersey.
Mr. Chair, shouldn't we wait for the state model to come back with an answer if that school is state authorized, state approved? Before we make this motion?
There are many places that are authorized.
We can't hear you.
Find out if I was, I'm going to look into the fact that it could possibly be a state-approved clinic or agency.
But maybe there are others.
The rate state charge would be state-approved.
The state approved doesn't mean it's a lower rate, as we know from other entities that we contract with, right? We know it's not the lowest rate. It's how much they can charge. So my point is there are many other clinical services that are also approved by the state and have lower rates. So what is the fear of bidding it out? And the way the state recommends it?
I said I would look into it.
I'm making a motion to issue an RFP.
Is there a second? Any discussion?
I just want to understand what the motion is.
The motion is to issue an RFP for all the services that are listed that were withdrawn.
Not just the Georgia Court, for any...
For services listed under the Georgia
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Once I got one question through the chair. What is the rush here? Why can't we wait? Are we losing anything by waiting and getting clarity and then moving to vote?
I'm waiting. I think we should.
Exactly right. I was going to do it. I was going to research it and look into it.
Well, I'm not satisfied with that. I would like to have an open process so we could have get the lowest price for the best service.
Mr. Zarek, I want to understand. Is Isaac correct in stating that just because one approved service can have different pricing, is that correct? Just because they're approved service by the state, that doesn't mean that their pricing matches everybody in the state, is that
No,
correct?
but their pricing would have had to have been approved by the state.
Correct.
So they couldn't charge a rate that was higher than what the state approved them to charge.
Could somebody still come in cheaper than them?
Well, I'll look at that. I'll look at this.
Okay.
I know one entity right
And
now.
I'll do price, if anything, if we don't do the RFP, I'll do at least price comps of other agents.
Mike, right now, we have an entity that you want to approach and negotiate a lower price, and that entity is approved by the state, and their rates are approved by the state. And you're not satisfied with that, you want a lower price, which we all think should happen. So to say that because they approve and the rates are approved, I don't see any harm in going for a fee. I don't know what is the fear to get the best price and the best expertise.
Mr. Zara, what is the problem with going for an RFP? Is it cost to do that?
Sometimes cheap can be expensive.
They're all state approved, otherwise that couldn't be invalidated.
We'll put out an RFP. I'm not afraid to put out an RFP. If that will appease you guys.
We consistently, for everything, put an RFP for any professional services.
Through the
That's
chair.
what we did. I don't know why we make exceptions.
Why do we approve the other two state approved? If the issue is money, so why didn't the board approve the other two state approved?
We didn't. I think we should go for RFP for everything.
We did. We
That was not approved
We didn't
that was not
approve it.
approved tonight, that was approved in the past.
Those were all, Joel, I think the other difference on the other two is that those were capped for certain students. That was capped for 20 students and 5,000. That was not an NU of,
It was not an open-ended contract. Okay, I have a motion if we could move on, please.
yeah, why don't we just do the roll call?
Mr. Zaki.
Yes.
Mr. Weinberger.
Yes.
Mr. Tiff.
No.
Mr. Schwartz. Mr. Munn.
No.
Ms. Gonzalez. Mr. Friedman.